What's up, y'all? Hope all is well with y'all today. You guys, I wanted to talk about that movie, Leaving the World Behind. I have not watched the movie yet, but I hear people, well, it's obviously a little old now. Well, not that old, but a couple weeks old. And I heard people talking about the movie, and I just came across a TikTok with this guy like breaking down symbolism in the movie or whatever. Um, and this just I know the true meaning of that movie. It's preparing. It's a message to the people. It's a message to us in the world. Well, not us in the world. Y'all that's in the world. The worldly people. God is giving you warning. Warning comes before destruction. And pride comes before destruction. And it comes before the fall. When you don't listen, when you want to have a stiff neck and you don't want to listen to what God is putting on you, what he is dropping on you, trying to get you up out the world, he's trying to call. For many are called, but few are chosen. And I got a separate video that I'm going to do after this about that, because we're going to read the scripture about that. Everything that's getting ready to come to Babylon, the modern day Babylon, which is America, which I have been warning you guys about for ever since I came to Texas. It's just crazy to me. Like, and if God is calling you to move, especially if he's calling you to move here, this is your confirmation that you need to get a move on it and get the moving down here. Like, it's about to be a lot of heavy, especially if you're on the East Coast, especially if you're in the major cities. If you are in the major cities, God is calling you to move up out the major cities because destruction is coming to these cities. But I have not watched the movie yet, but from some of the things that the guy was playing out in the movie, I mean, I see it to be true. And this is just, God is telling you to come up out the world. So many people are so worldly. You so caught up into the world. I talked about this a little bit in that idolatry video. I talked about this stuff. We don't pay attention to symbolism because a lot of us are still asleep. We're still asleep. We have not awakened. We have not awakened to the real tricks of the world. We have not awakened to the fact that it's literally every man for themselves. They got us so divided. They have us so divided that we can't even come together to prepare for times like this that's coming. They got us so spending, so trying to keep up with the Joneses and eating out and all of this craziness that we can't stack our money to prepare. And when people try to give advice, everybody want to be like, oh, this is my life, this, that. But people are trying to help prepare for what's to come. God is giving people time. But the time is coming down. It's winding down. And people be like, well, this was supposed to happen then and then and then. No, baby, you don't get to decide when it was supposed to happen because you're not God. These times that are coming upon us, God get ready to show people once and for all who he really is. And that his word will never come back void. People have all this stuff that they say, oh, man wrote the Bible and man created a lot. Man has, like I always say, he resourced the things that source has given him to create. Mankind was only created to do the will of God that God called him here to do. If you read your Bible, you know. We wasn't created here just to be here doing all of this stuff. But once again, God gave Satan authority of this world. So a lot of people are so worldly and so demonic and so doing everything of the world because that's what Satan wants. A lot of people are unknowingly children of Satan. They work with Satan. They sign deals with the devil because you don't even realize what you're doing because you're not awakened, because you don't have that relationship with God. This is the message from God to leave the world behind. Because when you cannot serve two masters. If you want to be so worldly, you can't be of the world and of God. Because things that are of the world is an abomination in the eyes of the Lord. Like I told y'all in that idolatry video, all these worshiping these celebrities, worshiping things, money, making money your God. You can't serve two masters, for you gonna love the one and hate the other. A lot of people who are so money hungry, they'll do anything. They'll do anything for the love of money. They'll do anything. You don't care. You will sacrifice your children, sell your children, give your children away, sell your children. You'll do anything. Leave them behind with people that you know is wicked, that you know doing these wicked things to kids, all for the love of money, because you don't understand God. When you serve God, you know that you're going to be provided for, period. I'm living proof to this. I'm living proof. But because so many people are of the world, and if he's calling you, this is why I keep stressing to the chosen ones, baby. This chosen ones movement, it ain't no thing just to be glorifying being chosen. No, it's something real. And we're going to talk about that in the next video, so I'm not even going to go too much into that. But if he's calling you, answer the call. Answer the call. He's trying to spare you. We only know 144,000. It's in Revelation. Only 144,000 is being marked, has been marked, because only 144,000 is truly going to answer the call. Is going to truly do what he told them to do. Is going to truly be saved when this time where Russia, I already been telling you, he's going to use Russia and everybody that they making alliances with. He's using them to come and tear down this modern. They're going to tear this place up. 9/11 style. Worse. Nuclear attacks. This is what's coming. I've been telling y'all this since he moved me to Texas. You know, somebody asked me in a video, the other video, you know, what made me become an Israelite? And that's going to be like a whole different video. But I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. I answered the call. God was calling me. God was moving me. And I did it. Scared and all, not knowing what to do and all, leaving everything behind. I literally had to leave people behind. This is what we're going to talk about in that video. Even Jesus has said, if you want to truly be a disciple, you got to hate the world. You got to hate the people that's in it. You got to hate your own family. You got to hate you got to hate those ways. You got to hate the things that's going on and choose to follow him. But man, it's so much that I got to reveal to y'all. It is so much that I had to reveal to y'all in the appointed time. But we have been sold so many lies because Satan is running the world and Satan is the father of lies. Satan wants you to stick to traditions, which is traditions full of lies, full of deception. And so many people are so worldly, and because they want to fit in so bad, they don't want to come up out of tradition. They don't want to come up out of the customs. They don't want to come out into what everybody else, if everybody else is doing it, they want to do it too. They want to do it too. Everybody's monkey see, monkey do. Like I said in that idolatry video, we need to understand that if you want to be of the world, when the world falls like it's about to, you're going to go along with that. Don't be sitting up there crying at the last minute saying, oh God, oh, how could God let this happen? Because everybody always want to question if God is real because of the things that God allows to happen. But the thing is, when he's convicting you, when he's telling you, when he's sending other people to tell you to stop doing what you're doing, to leave these people alone, to leave people behind, to leave this, leave that, do that, you don't listen because you say, I can do what I want, because you got a stiff neck. Those who are stiff-necked will soon be destroyed. And like he says in his word, when the time comes, when your day of doom comes, when the destruction comes, don't cry out for him at the last minute because I will not hear you. Go call on those gods. Go call on those gods that you worship so much. Go call on your idols. Go call on your celebrities. Go call on the social media. Go call on your phone to save you. You idolize this phone, this technology so much. Go call on that to save you. Guess what? It won't be able to save you because it's going to be dead. Internet's going to be out. There's going to be blackouts. You idolize food, you're not going to have it because your power is going to be out. Your food is going to get spoiled. If you don't know how to survive off the land, if you don't know how to start fires out of nothing, if you don't know how to do those basic survival skills like they used to go on back in the day, you're going to fall. Only his chosen ones, only the ones that are of him, they're going to be saved. They're going to have the plan. My whole life right now, I can't make this stuff. I'm preparing for it. Even this globe. I bought this. I was just feeling it by maps. I bought this little children's atlas here. I've been by maps. I told you I've been studying the maps to understand the importance of the rivers, the importance of the mountains. That's your guidebook. That's your compass. That's going to be your compass. Y'all don't understand. Life is in the river. That teaches you the way to go. That's your direction. That's how they get direction. When they sailing from here to there, man, it's so much lies that has been sold to us that is ridiculous. It's so crazy to the point where I'm like, are we really the West Coast? Or are we really the Western Hemisphere? Or are we the Eastern one? Because how on earth are we able to walk to Eurasia through the Bering Sea, but yet they make it seem like it's so like we're like the Atlantic Ocean is really what's keeping us apart from them. So it's so much. And even with this book, because this is an old book that I got from the yard sale, like I told you in that other video. And I was already questioning that because I'm like, in no map, you don't see no map. I'm going to try to put a picture on the screen. I'm going to try to put this map on the screen. But this map shows what it really is. This is how I believe we're really set up. Earth ain't even no sphere for real. It's so many lies. And even in the Bible, it talks about the four corners so much. So if Earth is, and I've seen people ask that question, is Earth really flat? I mean, is Earth really a circle or is it flat? Because circles don't have corners. It talks about the four corners all through this thing. It's so much that I'm studying that God has led me to, like he's leading me to the all-knowing truth. I can't take credit for nothing. It's all God. Everything that I know is so much that I had to reveal to y'all. So much. And I don't know, it's at the appointed time because I don't even know if he want me to reveal everything. That's why the biggest thing is so much. But I told y'all what y'all need to know about what's to come to America. And in that movie, Leave the World Behind, there's so much symbolism. And it just shows that the people are so distracted. They got our kids so distracted with being on the internet. It's not even just the kids, it's their parents. You don't even see what's going on with your kid. Your kid's knocking on you to do something. You so into your phone, what's going on in somebody else's life. The entertainment. We so into entertainment. We want to be entertained so bad. We watch all these entertainment things online, things to laugh and kiki about. But we don't want the education, which is going to save you. We don't want to read our Bible because people have convinced you that the Bible is just lies. Ain't nothing about God's word a lie. I'm living this. That's why nobody can ever tell me that the Bible not real when I'm living out the people in the Bible. That's how I found out I was an Israelite. That's how I found out the black people are the people of the book. We are the descendants of the Israelites. Man, I'm going to do a separate video on that because people even know that, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. People know. We don't know. Because we sleep. We so caught up into this matrix. We so caught up into the system. We so caught up into we've been so brainwashed. Everybody as a masses don't know whether you coming or going. We rely too much on the government. When this thing go down, it's every man for themselves. And this is why they keep us so divided so that we can't come together. But one thing I do know is that when tragedy happens, people do get together. We ain't looking at, you black, I'm white, you Hispanic, you this, you that. We ain't looking at that stuff. We helping. And it's sad that it takes for tragedy for people to come together. Even in our own community, we only want to come together when it's big stuff going on with the whole like Black Lives Matter movement because of the whole, that whole situation. We come together. It always takes for tragedy. Most times, black families, you only come together for a tragedy. Or only come together during holidays just because that's what the world does. And you cannot serve two masters. You can't be a lover of the world and a lover of God because it's conflicting. Because God hates the things of this world. He hates the things of this world. This is why he gives his chosen ones the free will to answer the call when he's calling you. When you hear him whispering, calling your name like he called out for Moses, like he called out for Jacob, like he called for Abraham. And they answered the call. They that voice that's calling, they answered, they didn't know, and they followed him, listened to him. I'm living this. I'm living this. This is why you got to answer the call. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot love the world and love God because it's conflicting. You got to pick a side. Yes, you're going to be in the world, but you don't have to be of the world. You don't have to do things that's trying to fit in with the world. And this is what the saying in the movie is: leave the world behind. Because if you don't, you're going to fall. Like in a movie, it was talking about that there's going to be a cyber attack. And it's going to be like power outages on the East Coast, in the metropolitan areas of the East Coast. I told y'all this a long time ago, because the nuclear attack, they coming after our grids, the power grid. Most of our nuclear, the nuclear reactors, the power plant reactors, or whatever it's called, man, when I tell you I'm studying the map, I told y'all this videos back in my playlist, the prophetic, this Russia cyber attack, or it's an attack on America. Ever since I got to Texas, bruh, ever since God told me to leave my area, well, I was living in Baltimore at the time. He told me leave Baltimore. In 2 weeks span of time, I left so much behind then, but so many people are so afraid to leave people, places, and things behind. But when you realize these are just things, I look around, I'm like, shoot, yeah, we get attached to our things. Some things you don't get back. You get something greater than that. Sometimes you don't get those pieces back. And God don't care about that, because he wants you to love him more than you love those things. Because that's all they are. They're temporary things. You'll get more stuff. You'll find something cuter. You'll find something better. But we don't cherish what really matters, which is having a relationship with God. Because in these end times, he's going to be the one to lead you. He's going to lead you to the safe land. I told y'all that once before, that I really believe that Harriet Tubman, God led her. God led her. And as you study, if you even study the Underground Railroad routes, it's all through the major rivers. That's your transportation. That's how you navigate. That's how you can literally navigate your way. Mississippi River would take you from the south of this country to the north of this country, to Canada. Then from there, you take the rivers taking you out toward Alaska. You get to Alaska, you cross the Bering Sea to get to the other nation. It once used to be a bridge taking you over. Even if you look, our states in the United States, get out. Oh, open that for her, Sonari. Our states in the United States, everything is separated by a body of water, by a river. By a river. They got this one big country as the United States. Really, each state is supposed to be its own country. If you look at the other countries, look at the continent of Africa, but they all have different countries. They look how our states look, but we call them states, they call them countries. If you from Maryland, you really a Marylander. That's supposed to be your thing. You from Texas, you're supposed to be a Texan. Or Louisiana, all those states. It's like the way they have done this. But it's all about control, power, dominance. And I always tell y'all, it's about mind control. It was about mind control from the very beginning with these people. It's mind, because if they could take the mind, the body will follow. Like we read in the Willie Lynch series that I just did. Their whole agenda was about mind control on us and on the masses, because it's not even just us as melanated people, because at this point, we ain't supposed to be calling ourselves black people. We ain't African American. They say we American Indians. I know we're Israelites. So all these other terms, we're the descendants of Jacob, period. We are. And like I said, so I'll talk about that in another video, but ultimately, this is how I find out who I am. I'm not no Christian. I'm not no Muslim. I'm not none of these those are what's man-made. Man, it's so much, man. It's so much that I'm working on. When I start doing these presentations, bro, that's what I'm saying. Some of this stuff, I got a lot I'm working on, because some of this stuff I can't put on YouTube. I can't put that stuff on YouTube. But it's all mind control and brainwashing for one agenda. for their agendas. Their agendas. We wonder why this world is so demonic. It's because Satan runs the world and his spirit lives in a lot of these people. A lot of people let the Satan spirit come in, take over their body, possess them, and carry out the agendas that Satan has, which is to steal, kill, and destroy. That's the only thing that the thief does. I told y'all in the Antichrist video. I didn't tell y'all, he told y'all himself. One of the Antichrist members, what the whole agenda is. And if he ain't doing if he ain't doing one of those three or all three, then that's not a part of his plan. These celebrities that they put out here and all these people that they put on the forefront for y'all, it's to push agendas, self-destruction, destruction of the masses, toxicity, promiscuity, unaliving one another, especially in our community, things that go against God. God said not to shed innocent blood. You out here so promiscuous, having sex with this person, that person, that person. Then you get pregnant. Then you want to unalive a baby, but God said not to shed innocent blood. To see that so many people is for unaliving innocent babies all because you couldn't control your lustful desires, you're worldly, bruh. If you don't repent from all of this stuff, this worldly activity, if you don't come up out the world and of the ways of the world, and you don't see how things that happen to you is only meant to teach you a lesson, you're going to fall. You're going to fall right along with Babylon, America. And that's even what the movie was talking about. That the Koreans, the symbolism was that the Koreans is going to come and take over and cause massive attacks on and wipe out the masses over here. That's what's going to happen. It's biblical. When I read this, I just be like, and it's nothing but warning. People going to learn once and for all. And a lot of people that say the Bible ain't real, you ain't even never read this joint. You ain't never even really, because if you really read it and you know, this is the only book that you're going to read and it's going to read you. And maybe some people be reading this and they get so convicted by reading it because it makes you have to humble yourself before the Lord. It makes you, it put that fear in you. It check you. This is the only book that you're going to read it trying to learn. And you're going to actually learn something about yourself because it's going to hit. It's going to feel like it's attacking you. That's why a lot of people don't like it, because it's going to feel like it's attacking you because your pride is so up to here when you need to bring it down some. You need to turn your goofy down some. When you turn your goofy down, you're going to realize, okay, I'm not as big and bad as I thought. When these end times come and you can't save yourself and you looking for FEMA, if that's what it's called, and all the other saving people that come and save during times of tragedy, save yourself then. You're so powerful and so this and so that you don't need God. Do it then. When people want to call on him at the last minute, people don't care about him. You don't care about the one who created this world. When you don't care about the one who provided everything for you, the ground that you walk on, man didn't create that. Let me rewind that. Man did build the roads, but God provided the dirt. God provided the asphalt. God created all the minerals, all the stuff that they use to build said roads. The iron, man can't create iron to build these machines. He can't provide steel to build the railroads. They have to mine that stuff from God's creation. So we need to understand who really is the source. That's why I say God is the source of everything. Because man didn't create none of that. The oldest people, these people in the government, they only 70, 80 something years old. What can they really do? Even them, this video that I was watching, because I'm telling you, one thing about God, I can't believe some of the stuff that he reveals to me, bruh. But it's because only people, man, it's just so much. It's so much. I'm like, wow. Just like even with these two books have been like that, he led me to that yard sale that day. And these books, so much vital information in them, bruh. When the time comes, People gonna really, this is why I see the importance of having a relationship with God, because he gonna prepare you for stuff that the world ain't prepared for. I've been telling y'all for months, warning y'all for months, prepare. Store your food up. Get you some rice. Move to the places he's telling you to. Not even just rice, but whatever it is that he's putting on your heart. And that was in the movie Leave the World Behind. The girl, she found the bunker, the rich people's bunker that had a whole food pantry in it. But she didn't even warn her family about what she had saw because she's so busy focused on watching her show. I really want to watch that movie, bruh. I gotta watch that movie. And even that other one that's coming out, what's it called? Clarence. Something about Clarence, the Book of Clarence or something. Even that video. I mean, even that movie. I already know. I don't gotta watch the movie. I'm gonna watch it. I really want to watch it, but I already know what the truth about that movie is. People ain't really ready for that, bruh. People ain't really ready for it. And a lot of this stuff, it's all here. It's all here. This stuff, God's word will never return void. You know that this is God's word because God will lead you. How, if it's not where he wouldn't lead me to it? I wouldn't be living out the very word. I wouldn't be going through the things that these people went through. That Abraham, that Joseph, that Jacob, that Moses. I wouldn't be living it, bruh. That Jesus. Even though we know, shoot, that wasn't his real name. You know what I'm saying? It's so much, bruh. But guess what? God led me to everything. But I want to read these scriptures right quick, and then I'm going to get back to what I was saying. You cannot love the world. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father. But it is not of the Father, but it's of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that does the will of God abides forever. In the word. So when y'all see the world passing away, when Russia come do their big one, and when they send that submarine to bang up them volcanoes to cause these earthquakes, because that's what's good. It's a lot that's going to happen at one time. And like I said in one of my other videos, and people just so stupid. That's why I say, like, just so stupid. But the thing is, it's not even that these government officials is stupid because they know. They just don't care about the people. They're not for the people. It's literally every man for themselves. They preparing themselves for what's to come. They act like they oblivious, but they know. It's all here. I told y'all a long time ago, Putin said, if we back Ukraine in that war, that America is going to feel the wrath of God. And he's just God uses people. Just like Satan used people, God used people. But you got to be a willing participant. And a lot of people be willing participants to go with the devil ways. And then you got people like me, the righteous ones, the chosen ones. Well, I'm not even going to say the chosen ones because all the chosen ones don't answer the call. And they don't be really willing to work with God either. We're going to talk about that on that video coming up. Like how people forfeit their spot. How you forfeit your spot because you scared to go against the world? You will forfeit your spot with the Creator because you afraid to go against the world? Man, please. It said, but it's not of the Father, but it's of the world, and the world passeth away. And the lust thereof, you lust after everything of the world, all the glitz and tinkling ornaments of the world, everything that the world fake has to offer when most of the world is in distress because of the things that they chase after. A lot of the world is suffering mentally. When you have the choice, everybody's bang free will, but you do have a choice. You have the choice to do or not to do. You have a choice to obey God's commandments or not to obey them. You have a choice. You have a choice to read your Bible or not to. You have a choice to choose your reading your Bible or choose getting entertainment, worried about what's going on in Krishan life and Beyonce life and watching all these movies and getting on Netflix and Tubi and everything else all day. You have a choice. And when you choose that, Don't be mad about what comes after that because you chose entertainment over education. Because you chose to be a part of the world instead of letting God isolate you to lead you to your purpose. So that you can be officially initiated into the kingdom of heaven. So you can choosely, faithfully, and boldly walk it out in what God called you here to do. So that you can be saved. You scared to leave your hometown. You scared to leave your family. God trying to move you away to prepare your family. You're going to be the one you might be the one to save your family when this day comes, but yet you afraid to go and be set apart. You're afraid of what everybody's saying. Even though his very own family members, like Joseph, they sent him off. Y'all sold him off to slavery. But yet y'all had to be the same ones to come back and need him. Sometimes when God isolates you, it ain't that you're going to leave them people forever. It's to go and do an assignment. You on assignment. I'm here on assignment. So my family and everybody that don't understand it, even though like some folk getting it a little bit, because you see how I have had a renewing of the mind. You see how things have changed. I'm moving out of the world. I don't celebrate these worldly holidays no more. You see what's going on now. And like I told him, that's the reason I had to get away. It wasn't that I'm trying to be, none of that. Had to get away. Because I'm going to be the one to come to save y'all when y'all need to do y'all exodus. When this stuff go down up there, and I'm from the East Coast. I'm from the metropolitan areas that this stuff is getting ready to hit. DC, Baltimore, all the New York City, all of these cities. Just like they attacked them during 9/11. Atlanta get ready to get hit up. These Sodom and Gomorrah cities. All of this stuff with this stuff that's complete abominations to the Lord. A lot of this stuff. Get up out these cities. Get up out the world. It says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. Don't be conformed to the world. Be willing to get out of the world so you can have a renewal of the mind. I told y'all that in that Willie Lynch series video. I don't remember exactly which one because it's a 4-part video. Because it was all about mind control. It was all about mind controlling and switching up our mind. The mind is so easily changeable. Why do you think so many people are able to be gaslit by narcissists? Gaslit. Even how they do Kanye, like, first you call them crazy, then you ask how they know. Kanye's a very smart man. God using him. A lot of stuff now that I'm on this side, I'm out the world, I'm on this side, and the stuff that God's revealing to me, I'm like, dang, some of the stuff is what Kanye was saying. Like, people call you crazy first, then when this stuff go down, they ask how'd you know? Then they like, oh, he was right. Oh, this. But they try to make you crazy. People like me is the type of people that they be trying to put on medication. This medication only dumb you down. They try to make you crazy. But God set you apart. You were chosen. You're different. Your free spirit, your uniqueness, you're chosen. You're different. You were marked since birth. Like he said, from the mama womb, I knew you. When I formed you in the belly, I knew you and I set you apart. I ordered you, I declared you to be a prophet amongst the nations. And only prophets hear directly from God. Like it says in the scripture, touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. Do my prophet no harm. They always want to harm the prophets when they come in and speak that real. Because when it's not saying stuff, they're just going to tickle your ears. Even what's that other basketball player? I don't know these people like that. What's his name? Kyrie Irving. People that speak the truth, they try to blackball them. People who won't get in line with their wicked ways, with their agendas, who don't want to promote their agendas, who don't fall in line with that foolery. That's how God knows who his real ones is. You willing to go against the grain of the world. You willing to do what everybody else not doing. You willing to be real. You're not here to be accepted by the world. You're here to stand on business. You're the truth teller. People don't like the truth teller because a lot of these people are of the world. They're of Satan. They don't even know that they worship Satan for real. Satan is the father of lies. So if you're a habitual pathological liar and you hate the truth, you only want to listen to people that tickle your ears, What is that scripture for in the last days? People are not going to want to listen to sound doctrine. They're going to want to listen to only those pastors and prophets and teachers that tickle and say that stuff that for their itching ears. They don't want to hear what's real. They don't want to hear the truth. You only want to hear stuff that make you feel good. Everything that feel good ain't no good for you. The other scripture I wanted to read. Anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy to God. If you choose ways of the world over God, you are op, shorty. You are op. And when it come to pass, don't be calling on my God, not the Almighty. Don't call on the Almighty. Don't call on the Most High. He ain't coming to save you. He ain't coming to save you. This is all a part of his plan anyway. This God, everybody want to give credit to the government. This is God. These people are emissaries for God. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Look it up. Stop waiting on everybody online to tell you what everything is. Do your own due diligence. Y'all better get prepared. Y'all better get prepared. But the only true preparation is getting your relationship right with God. That's the only truth. You better pick your side and pick it fast, because you cannot be lukewarm. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot be neutral. There's no real such thing as neutral. When you put your car in neutral, you go nowhere. You go nowhere. That's what happens when you try to place both sides. You go nowhere. You're stuck there. But when you choose a side, you're either going to drive, you're going to go forward in life, or you're going to go backwards. When you choose God, you're going to go forward in life. Sometimes you might take some falls. It may seem like you're going backwards, but it's only to pull that arrow back so that when it take off, it got that ammunition to pop off. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Don't worry about what you seem like you lacking, because that's only the breakdown for the build-up. You got to pick your side. You either choosing God so you can go forward in life, so you can stop doing 360s and coming back and busting your butt, coming back to the same places in life. Or you could choose the world and go in reverse and keep hitting reverse. You keep putting that joint in reverse, because you got to pick a side. You're either going to go forward or backward, or you're going to be in neutral, standing still, going nowhere really fast too. You don't matter. When you in neutral, you can press on that gas how hard you want. That car ain't going nowhere. That car ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. You going backwards. When you choose the world, you're going to keep going in them same 360s. You don't want to do 360s in life, because you end up back where you started at, which was nowhere, which was with nothing, which is in lack. You'll never have abundance when you don't choose God. God created us to have an abundant life, not a lack life, but you must choose him. You must leave the world behind, the things of the world, the people of the world, everything that you used to. It don't matter how long you knew something. When you start valuing quality over quantity, you'll get somewhere in life. But a lot of y'all spend too much time focused on quantity. That's something worldly. When you focus on quantity all the time, you focus on how much you got, how long you knew a person, how long this. But what was the quality of that? Who cares if you've known somebody for 20 years and out of 20 years, all they did was lie, snake you, deceive you, step on you like a doormat, betray you, steal from you? Who cares? It's futile. For 20 years, you've been getting stepped on, whether it's from family, friends, lovers, whoever. For 20 years, you've been getting treated like a bottom feeder. Out of 20 years, your value has been decreasing instead of increasing, because time is supposed to increase your value. Good investments, over time, they grow. They appreciate, not depreciate. But that's what you get when you love the world and when you want to do everything that the world is on, just to fit in with the world. You stay in things that no longer serve you because you're scared to come up out of it. You're scared to be alone. When God gets you alone, he get to do his best work on you. It ain't that you're going to be alone forever, but when he renews your mind, he changes everything. He awakens you. And this time, when he bring people back into your life, when he say it's that season for people to come back into your life, it ain't all them old people. He sends you a new tribe. He sends you a new love. He sends you a new hope. He sends you a new future. He sends you people that are now operating in the new mindset like you are. The last one I want to say, this is from Matthew chapter 7, the narrow and wide gates. Even through the narrow, it says, enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. And many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life. And only a few find it. Let me run that back again for y'all and break it down. It says, enter through the narrow gate. Go on the narrow road. Go on the road less traveled. Go the back road, not the highway where everybody else on it. It's everybody. You want to go the road. I wish I still had that picture. Let me see if I could find it. It was a meme one day, and it was showing like a road, and everybody was going that way, and it was just one person going that way. I say, that's me. That's me. That's always me. I'm always willing to go the way that everybody else not willing to go. Because everybody else want to fit in the world and fit in with traditions and customs and all of that. I don't know. And that's why people might call me defiant or call me difficult. Because I see what you don't see. And you're not going to conform. You can't mind control me. You can't gaslight me into doing what you want me to do. When I know that way is faulty, baby. Because if a true attacker was coming after you, he going to go after the way that everybody else going. People who want to do a mass outage, they're not going to be focused on that one little person going there. They're going to see where the crowd is going, follow the crowd and try to get all of them, to obliterate all of them. That's why you can't be afraid to do your own thing. You can't be afraid to be set apart. You might think you in last place because everybody doing that and I'm only doing this. But like he said, the last shall be first at its appointed time in its season. But it said, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. The wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. So when you're doing the broad thing, you on the wide gate where everybody is on that road, that leads you to destruction. It says, and many enter through it. Many enter through. They want to go the wide road. They want to do what everybody else doing. They want to fit in so bad. They want to be an it girl and be popping and do everything that everybody else doing. Monkey see, monkey do. A bunch of pigeons. A bunch of geese at the lake. When I see how they operate when I'm at the lake, I be like, that's how majority of the world is. And I'm not that. I'm the eagle. I fly alone. You won't see me by myself up the top. At the top, it's just us, period. And eagles only fly with other eagles. Them pigeons, them the ones that get sacrificed on the altar. They the ones that was getting that they was using for the burnt offering. Abraham had to bring them up there to put you on a burnt offering to get burnt up. But for real, you don't want to do what everybody else doing. It says, but small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Narrow, but it says, but small is the gate and narrow the road. So the smaller gate, you go through the smaller gate. You go through the way that everybody else ain't going through. That's your opening. You go through there and narrow the road. So you go through that gate that leads you on a narrow road. Can't too many people on a narrow road. If you ever get on a back road, or even like on the bridge, it's a narrow road. It's only like one lane going that way, one lane going this way. Maybe not all bridges, but I know like some bridges. I don't know what bridge is that. I think it might be the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, but that was the bridge that we would take to go when we going to North Carolina. We would take that, and it's narrow, so you gotta stay in your lane. It's narrow. It ain't enough for all these cars to go, and it's just all. Nah, you gotta be narrow. You got to stay on your narrow, straight and narrow path. And even because Satan going to be trying to call you off of it. It's a constant fight. When you on a road with God and you letting God lead your life, it's a narrow way. It's a narrow road and a straight and narrow path. And you need God to lead you on it. But Satan will be trying to tempt you to get you off of it so you can come back into the world and do what everybody in the world is doing. You're going to be so tempted too. But you got to stay 10 toes down with God on your narrow path, on your straight and narrow path, because it's going to be a reward at the end. Like it says here, But small is the gate and narrow the path that leads to life, and only a few find it. It's going to lead you to eat from the tree of life, where there's abundance, where that's what we was initially supposed to be eating from anyway. But because of what Miss Adam and Eve did, Mr. Adam and Mrs. Eve did, they chose to eat from the tree of knowledge and good and evil. They chose to be awake. And we shouldn't even, it shouldn't even be a thing of blind versus awake. But I talked to y'all about this in a video before about that Adam and Eve. It was like a video about Eve, because she was blind at first. Like, she was gullible. It was no evil to have to discern between. You didn't need discernment because you listened to God, and when you was just listening to God, you didn't have to have that. If you would have ate from the tree of life, we would have had a life of abundance. It would have been a life of no strife, nothing. It would have been just perfect. It would have been just sweet, because we would have only listened to what God told us to do. We would have had an abundant life. But when you let somebody get in your ear and they trick you out your spot and say, no, you're going to become wiser. We shouldn't even have to be wise, because if you would have listened to God up front, and this is what I'm saying, God gives wisdom. You either got the wise out here or you got the fools. And in some degree, we are all still fools because we don't know everything. But when you have God and he gives you the wisdom, he gives you the game on no matter what area in life is, because he going to give you discernment. He going to increase it and heighten it. And when he do that, it don't matter what situation that you in. It don't matter what you choose in between. You like, I don't know what to choose. That discernment going to kick in. You going to be like, all right, go that way. You going to hear the voice of God. It's going to be like, all right, go that way. So, but that's what that means. You go on the road less traveled. Stop being afraid. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to be like everybody else, because God is trying to prepare you. And like I said, I'm going to talk about that in that Chosen One video. But it's a lot. I really want to watch that movie, Leave the World Behind. But it's nothing but a final warning from God. God is giving people an opportunity. He's warning you, leave the world behind, the ways of the world. Leave everything of the world behind. And answer the call. Come to him. Get into your Bible. Learn what you need to know. And that's what be making me mad, because people be, that's why for me it's like, people be thinking you crazy. People call you grandma and all of this other stuff. It's just like, I wish that I had other people around my age, because some stuff that I do, it is stuff that an old woman would want to do. Like, but I want to be prepared at all times, prepared for my family. Like, and people don't understand. It's like people learned nothing from the pandemic. And one thing about me is everything that goes on in my life, I learned something from it. I learned something from it because I know there's a reason for it happening. I don't look at stuff and be like, oh, why everything happens to me? And I be like, nah, what's up with this? What I need to know about this? Like, because I don't want to do it again. Things that are bad for me, I don't like pain, strife, and misery. I really love to be happy, joyful. I don't like to be depressed. I don't want to have to be reliant on no pills, no drugs, no alcohol, no all these coping things that we have to do, no food. I want to really be happy and able to control my emotions. And I want to be just aware. And I want to live a life where I don't have to rely on nobody. I don't want to have to rely on the government to save me. I don't want to have to rely on them, because when you have to rely on people, nobody's coming to save you. And that's what we need to understand. People be so fearful of the government. You relying on the government. You could call, say, this is written by the man. This is written by the white man, but yet you relying on the white man to come save you on the day of doom and destruction come. When hurricanes come through, you rely once again on the white man, but you can't rely on what the white man then put together. It ain't that the white man wrote these words, but the white man then probably compiled it. They made a compilation of all the different scrolls that they found in them caves. Like I was telling y'all earlier, the video that I saw the other day, because I'm telling you, I'm studying all of this stuff. But this guy went into a cave because so many secrets are in here, but people don't read it, and you don't care to read, so you will never know. You will never know. But it was I ended up coming across me doing some research on what something was meaning that I was reading. I end up, and I know it's caves, and like I got different caves that I've been printing at the library and stuff and trying to learn about learn about them. And I end up coming across this video. So I've been watching a couple of videos about people travel, like going to look inside of caves and stuff. So this one video, he said that and then they won't even tell the location, but I know where it is at. Because once again, God gonna lead you to the truth. And a lot of these, because even the cave that the guy was in, there was the guy and his girlfriend. There was a white guy and a white girl. Y'all know white people do that type of stuff, and I'm thankful that they do, or that they are adventurous and do that type of stuff. Because I dang sure wouldn't be going up in there, at least not by myself. But once the guy even said he needed a person to come along with him to do that. But so many people have been in that cave. Even the presidents have been in that cave. So many people's signatures is in there from 1865. Andrew Jackson's name was in there. They even tried to build an elevator in there because they use these places as tourist spots and all of it, but it's historical places. And it was something because of where, y'all know in the Bible, it talks about where they were buried at and the significance of land. Like, and when you understand that it's only one earth. And I'm just trying to trace a lot of stuff because for one, I told y'all, I'm trying to figure out where we really from as a people. They keep saying we from here. We don't know where we really from. Unless you didn't talk to your ancestors and like your great grandparents and stuff, and they told y'all, well, like, we from this particular land. A lot of us don't know where we really from. We can't be from two different countries. They say we African American. Okay, if we from Africa, where at in Africa? So, I'm just looking up a lot of stuff, just trying to figure out a lot of stuff. And that's what like led me to, reading something made me be like, what this mean? Because if you don't understand what words mean, like it's a lot of tea that be in this book. But people don't know because they don't read and they don't understand the words. And they don't understand the parables. You don't understand what they saying. So it's like, but when I was looking at the video, I'm like, dang, it's crevices and stuff. And I'm like, I know through my reading that they said that God had Noah to write scrolls, to write down stuff on the scrolls. He had Enoch. He had so many different people to write down. Moses had to write stuff down, and they stored them in caves. They stored the stuff in caves. And that even in the video, that particular video, they were saying that cave was owned by like the Indians. And just so much that I'm learning too with this Indian stuff and with the colonizers and coming over here, just like, oh, it's just so much. But we're going to be talking like more about that in the videos that it's coming about who we are and stuff. But it's just so much. And I'm like, dang, they really be in these presidents stuff really be up in these caves. People really be going up in it. And they said that it's when wars would go on. And some of these presidents have been in the wars. Like before they became presidents, they were in other positions. So during wartime, they be hiding out in the caves. And even God, when he sent Adam and Eve out the garden, they had to go into the cave of treasures. They had to go dwell there, kick them out the garden. They had to go dwell there. So seeing them going through the cave and stuff, it was just like, it's so many crevices in the cave. They was going into small parts. Like they was squirming like a worm, getting through certain parts. They end up even getting so far down into a part. They saw a river. It was a river going through the cave. And I told y'all before, the water be coming out the rock. Like when you even look at the map, the mountains, all the rivers flow through from the mountain. It's all like linked. Everything is linked to each other. So I do a lot of studying the maps these days. Y'all better be studying these maps because when these GPS signals go out, like I said in the movie, I want to see it, but I just saw what the guy was breaking down and then looking at some of the people's comments. But it said on there that the GPS, they ain't know which way to go because the GPS, they can't use the GPS. Back in the days, we already know. We used to use MapQuest before GPS became a thing. We used to use MapQuest, go on there, see where to go. But before internet even came about, this is the importance of always having that old school with that new school. You never feel like you don't need old ways, and you never feel like you don't need you want to always master both. You never want to just do away with everything about the old days, because you're going to need some of those survival instincts from the old days. You're going to need that. And God is about to humble America. Everybody relies so much on the internet. You get money off the internet. People get a lot of money off content creation. Yet you splurging. You just spending. Ain't stacking nothing. But everything comes to an end. But people really think, oh, the internet ain't going nowhere. Oh, it's too much money. It's too lucrative. It ain't that it's going to go away for a long time. But I strongly believe in my gut. And like it was said in the movie, the internet's going to be out. We've seen days when Instagram go down for a whole day. We've seen this. And it's like people think that this stuff won't happen or won't stay out for a long period of time. But a lot of people is like, these countries is sick of our country. Our country have been backstabbing. Our country had lie. The value of our dollar isn't what it really is said to be. And that people are getting fed up with us. And the main countries that we need, they're banding together. China is one of our major companies. Major countries that we rely on. They teaming up with Russia. This is what happens when you outsource so much stuff. Like it's like pimping the other countries because they are deemed as third world countries, but really we are a country that's in much poverty with all this debt, giving away stuff that we don't have. They'll even take from their own people. That's even in the Bible about how they're taking from their own people. God told them not to do this to us. That's in the Bible, not to do that to your own people. They extort their own people for their gain. And y'all really think the government for us? They're not for nobody. It's literally going to be every man for themselves. You know, it's just so much, bruh. I'm sorry if I be jumping around. But it's a lot of symbolism in that movie from just the clips that I done saw. But it's real stuff. They got everybody just so into the phone, so relying on the internet. You make money off of here and then you don't invest in nothing else because you put your trust in the bank. I've worked in the banks. And like I told y'all, videos back in my prophetic warning playlist where I talk about what they're going to do to us. I've been telling y'all this since I hit Texas, and God been putting this on me ever since he moved me away. And I said, I used to work in the bank, and when them people couldn't get their money because our systems was down for the whole day, and we could only give them $100. Well, in the office, I didn't work in the actual branches. I worked in the headquarters. And people couldn't get their money. They was pissed. They were angry. Look at what's been going on now with the banks. Banks ain't for you. It's supposed to just be like a little middleman. It's supposed to be temporary stay. Your money ain't supposed to just stay in there. They the ones taking your money and giving it out to the rich folk, loaning it out to them. And even themselves taking your money to go buy up land that's not even really theirs. Man, it's so much to this. This system. This system is so corrupt. But yet, so many people fall in line to the system. Like, you're scared of the system, not realizing that majority rules. If all of us as a nation band together, what they gonna do? Us versus them, who you think gonna win? If it's us versus them, who you think gonna win? Majority rules, but you got so many people that's willing to just like surrender to them. But in these last days, we're gonna have to band together. We need to start banding together more up front than wait until times of destruction to band together. To let them, because a lot of stuff couldn't be carried out. These top dogs wouldn't be able to do so much stuff that they do if the underdogs, the 99, they wouldn't be able to do so much stuff from the get-go if we wasn't willing participants in this crap, letting them just get away with this stuff. Like Trump said a long time ago, the democracy is stupid. We as a people are stupid because we're blind to what's going on. We're blind to what's going on. Now we have to know, like, and when you don't know what's going on, you fall for anything. And you stand for something, don't fall for anything. Wow. And a lot of this stuff God allows to go on because people don't really fear God. They don't fear the one who created this whole existence. The one who created humans, animals, life. We don't even fear him, let alone do we listen to him. We think simply saying his name and all this, so we think that that's just it because we believe that we know that it is real. We know that God is real. Some people still don't even believe God is real. But you know. And God ain't here to necessarily prove himself. He ain't going out his way to prove himself. But he gonna do what he said he was gonna do in his timing. And he trying to spare some folk because he don't really be wanting to have to do this to you. Like he's saying the word, he didn't want to have to even do this to our community. He didn't want to have to do this to you. But people can't humble themselves. People can't humble themselves. So yeah, he give you over. All right. Hand you on over to the enemy. Let you be a part of their schemes. Let Satan do his big one. And you fall victim to it. He the creator of this game. Like I did that video of it was titled Life is a Game. God the creator of this game. Like a lot of this stuff that I now know, I mean, I ain't asked to know this stuff per se. I wanted to know the truth. And before that, I ain't even asked to know the truth. My only question was, I wanted to find my purpose in life. And I wanted to know why Black people are so hated. And that led me to that truth, plus so much more. And it just keep on unfolding. That's why sometimes I do wish I didn't know a lot of the stuff that I know. Because it made me realize, like, dang, the world is really it's wicked out here. Like, but this is, Satan got rulership over this level of the triad, this level of the existence, this level. It's really levels to this thing. He controlled this earthly realm. But God gave him authority over this. And this is to give people the option. You gonna either serve him or you gonna serve me. I'm letting you be down here in this mess, but he knows his people because he marked them. He gonna see, all right, when I'm calling you to come up out of it, this is what you're gonna do. It's gonna be us versus them, the kingdom of heaven versus the kingdom of darkness. He's seeing who really loyal, who really gonna ride. What side you willing to choose? You gotta pick a side. And that whole movie, and a lot of these movies, when you awaken in life, like when your spiritual eyes open, when that third eye opens, and you be like, it's a lot of these movies out here be pushing agendas. They be telling about a lot of stuff way beforehand. And we give people too much credit, but a lot of the thoughts that humans have, it's either thoughts that's coming from God or the enemy, planting thoughts into your head. When you born knowing nothing. Your environment creates who you are. You ain't born knowing much of nothing. You're being programmed from the moment you come out the womb. The programming begins. The way your brain is wired begins. Some things is just some ways you are just born with certain things, but your environment play a huge part into who you really become. Nature versus nurture. And we don't be wanting to give God no credit. We think everything is just, oh, they got to bring this, oh, they make these movies are fake. But where do they get the ideas from? Where do you think they get these ideas, these concepts from? If you even look around the world, they name so much after places in the Bible. Even your presidents know that God is real. So how do the people that actually believe in the government don't believe in God? The government is just a system, and there's certain people that's in places that run the system, but the government is a system, literally, which is why they created more and more systems. These systems, the phone, the internet, a system. No, it's so much. I was doing some research on that. Like they take God's way, like with cells and multiplying the cells to create other cells. This is how they do with creating this stuff. They even named, I was looking up something, they even named it Methuselah after this. After Methuselah from here, which is one of the first patriarchs before the flood. Noah, one of his granddads or something. I don't know if he was the granddad, because Noah's dad is Lamech. Lamech's dad might be Methuselah. Yeah, I think that is his granddad or great granddad or something. But it'd be so much. Like, that's why I keep telling God, help me retain this information, because my brain be having like 1,000 tabs going at once. But overall, you guys, I want y'all to know, get right with God, because really, He gonna prepare you for what's to come. He gonna save you. He gonna save you. It's so much that He's like revealing to me that it's crazy. So much. But I saw somebody in the comments of that video saying that it was funny because the symbolism that the guy had on a Dallas Cowboy hat, and saying that the Americans are going to be safe in Texas. And I already told you, I was like, wonder why he wanted me to move to Texas. It had to be a reason why he moved me here. Like, because I wanted to move to North Carolina, but I kept getting called to move to Texas. You know? And even recently, I was like, I don't know, maybe I should move back to Maryland. Like, no, I already know I don't really want to move back there. But I'm like, nah. Then this came up today. I'm like, this is confirmation. Nah, God said, nope, you stand right here. You stand right here. So you guys, I'm going to leave this video here. The moral of the story of this video was to leave the world behind. Leave the world behind. You're going to be happy that you did in the end. The beginning process, the middle process might seem crazy. You're going to be mad some days. But in the end, you're going to be really happy that you did leave the world behind. Okay? So I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.